here's what we're doing today. I got this book, ShadowDark. This is all the craze right now for tabletop RPG land. It is it's like a Dungeons and Dragons tabletop RPG. It won all these kinds of awards. It won like Game of the Year this year. In the book is what's showing over here on the side of the screen. There is a 1-page spread or 2-page spread of building an overland hex map, and it's pretty neatly done. So we're gonna make a hex map. We're gonna follow the rules there with ShadowDark, what's in this book, and we're gonna make ourselves a hex map. I did one here. Comes out pretty nice. I'm gonna use Inkarnate, the free version, just because it looks nice on YouTube. I did a couple of these by hand, and it looks a little better. But for the sake of YouTube and stuff, we're gonna use Inkarnate. Got some appropriate Age of Empires music for this. Okay, so in Inkarnate, there's other like hex building things you can do, but we'll do the Inkarnate one. The cool thing about this thing, a lot of times when you make like a hex map map for like D&D or whatever, you get kind of like a lot of randomization out of it. And this one seems to do a good job of giving it some not so random. And adds points of interest in there. It's got a really good randomizing thing. I love these little randomizing tables. I basically made a whole game of this with Map of Imperium. But we're gonna go in here, Inkarnate, and we can come over here to the grid tool, change it over to hexes. I hear they are the bestagons. We'll make something like that's probably fine. We may not go all this, but we'll do something like that. And we can go to the paint tool and switch over to the like that, and we just paint hex by hex. Oh, I gave you the wrong. Oh, sorry, I gave you the wrong. Sorry. So we'll start in the middle of the map. So it's all water. We can pick whatever we want. We're gonna do completely random. So I got dice over here. The way this works is you start on one hex, you fill that one in, you're gonna roll 2d6, and it'll give you. Does my mouse show up over here? No, it doesn't. You can see where it says hex terrain. You roll 2d6 and you put that terrain down. And then the next one, you're gonna go up here and sort of this. I think hex flower is the term, and you kind of go around. So the next one, you'll roll on where it says new hex. I wish my cursor showed. Oh, it does show. There you go. The new hex area. And so then you're likely to have the same thing, and so you start getting these sort of mountain chains and desert areas. It's kind of neat the way it works, and I like the way. I've been playing with this. It's pretty neat. We're going to do it. I'm going to skip the danger level just for now, just for the sake of doing this, because it's kind of fiddly using Inkarnate for this. If you're on, like, writing it down, it'd be a lot easier. Anyway, let's roll some dice. So the way I'm going to do this, so the top 2 dice there, this is in Google, is going to be the hex terrain. The bottom dice, if the bottom dice is a 1, that means there's a point of interest on that hex. And we find all those down here. So if that bottom dice is a 1, then we'll go there. But for now, we're going to start with this spot here. We're going to roll the dice. If I can find my roll button. There it is. Okay, so we got a 5. A 5 is a grassland. We can come in here. We got a few. I'm just using the free thing, so we're just going to grab the free stuff. We got nice free grassland. Bloop. There. Grassland. I had a randomizing table once. It was difficult to eat dinner on. Hello, Michael. How's it going? I'm going to say that if we were making this for like a D&D campaign or whatever, a tabletop or ShadowDark campaign, we're probably going to want this being like our main thing. So we're gonna make this into a village as sort of our starting village. And so we'll come in here to the free stuff that we get with Inkarnate. I think I said Wonderdraft with Inkarnate. And we'll grab ourselves a little village. We'll do the farm, and we'll pop this guy in there. There's our starting village. There's actually randomizing things over here on this for the settlement name. We can do that. Let's roll a d8 and see what we get. This is called the village of Ostlin. Is the name of our town. Excellent. I think it says in here that each hex is 6 miles. So there's the town of Ostlin. You can even do, like, in Inkarnate, you can do this thing where you can add in, like, notes and things and say, whoops. There's a whole tool here for what is special about these places. And you can, like, add these notes in here. But they don't, like, I mean, I guess they kind of stay. And you can add all your stuff in, like, this is Ostlin. It is a town. And then when you go in the notes, you can see that. So Inkarnate's pretty neat. Even the free version. Anyway, so we got the starting hex. Now we go up, and we're going to kind of circle around. You can kind of do this any way you want. But this is sort of the, I think, a neat way of doing it. So we'll go up here, and we're going to roll the dice again. And we got a 4. A 4 means we say same as current hex. So we're going to put in another grassland. And there's no 1, so it's just an ordinary old grassland hex. Next up, and this is very quick. Next up is current terrain plus 1 step. So we're going to go from grassland to a jungle. 1 step down. So now we have a forest. So we'll put in the like a foresty looking terrain. With Inkarnate, we can come in here. This is the reason I'm using Inkarnate, because we can put some fancy trees in here. Let's make them a little bigger. Oh, that's not what I want. I want not that hex. This hex over here. There's a spooky forest. And this is where you could roll on the danger level to see if it's like a deadly forest or a risky forest. Which you would, if you're playing this for like ShadowDark or whatever, you probably want to do that for the sake of story stuff. But for this, no. Next up, we're going to go down to this hex. We didn't roll 1, so we go to the next hex. And now we're starting with, so we got an 8, which means we same as current terrain, which is the forest. So we got another forest. Forest all in here. Pop another one of these guys down. We're going to keep on going. We roll it again. It's so fast. Ah, excellent. Okay, we got a 3, which is 1 down, which is going to be a river or a coast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put... We'll figure it out if it's going to be a river or coast here in a minute. There is something spooky here, though, because we got a 1. So we're going to fill in... We'll put like a lake in there for right now. And we'll deal with it in a second. Ooh, that is a fancy chat effect. Fancy. Yeah, same idea. I found a bunch of these kinds of things when I was doing the stuff with Mappa Imperium. And this one's a really neat, probably one of the neater ones I have found of making. It's simple. 1 page basically of making this hex map. Anyway, we got something exciting here. So because we roll a 1, means we get to roll a point of interest, which is a d20. Which is a 2, a fortified keep. So near this river or lake or coast, whatever it may be, there is a fortified keep, which we'll put in. There is a castle right there. We can put like a castle. We can put a tower in. Let's put a castle down here. Maybe not that big. Put a castle right there. If this is a coastal keep, makes sense. I'm gonna keep on going around this way. That one's settled. If this is a river again, then we'll make it a river. If it's coast, we'll kind of figure that stuff out. Oh, wait, I didn't roll. I forgot something. So that's going to be same. Okay. I forgot to roll on the other one. So we got that is a keep. We forgot the second, the development. What is it? It is controlled by a malevolent sorcerer. So there's a malevolent sorcerer in this keep. We can go and say, we can put like a tool down and say, spooky sorcerer in there or whatever, and mark that on there. We can give it a name, I suppose. But we know there's some sorcerer in charge of that place. Let's, so I got a 6 on that one. So that's the same thing. So we want to go and do this again. And I think we're going to have this be a river. So we'll make this go kind of through here. We'll see where it goes. Oh, yeah, it could be a tower, I suppose. Yeah, if it's a malevolent sorcerer. That doesn't make sense. That does make sense. Let's make that a tower. Yeah, a sorcerer. Perfect. Bloop. There you go. So you have a location now. So if you're doing D&D or whatever, you got it. We got 1 location now. It's only 6 miles away down to that sorcerer's tower. Next, we're going to go right here. Are we rolling? We have an 8, which means it's the same thing, same as current terrain. I've had some interesting ones that come in where, like, you get... Also, I got a 1. Like the one I had before, I had like a million mountains. I had another one I made where it had some pretty neat, like, coastal formations and water. It makes some pretty neat maps. We got another 1, so we're going to roll this again. And there's a 14, which is a monster nest. What's in this monster nest? There is... It's under siege by a war band. So we got monsters getting attacked by something. We'll put in the orc village over here, which is up this way. It's under attack by something. We can always add in here some things so we know what we're looking at. Something like... I'll just say this is a what I say was monster nest. So we can come back and adjust these things. There's our monster nest, and then we've got our sorcerer tower over there. Okay, next. Roll again. 7, same as before. Our river is growing. I guess it may be a coast. We'll see what comes on the outside. Flow our river over this way. Next. 7, another river. Excellent. Or coast. Something. We have to make a decision here at some point, whether that is a river that's just going to go in circles, or a coast, or whatever, or maybe we're on an island. Let's roll again. We got another same as current terrain. Which means we get another river or coast. Something like over here. And we got another one. We got a natural landmark of a disaster. Excellent. Okay, so we get on the disaster table, which is here, the cataclysm table. It's a natural landmark of something. What's it going to be? A D8. And it's going to be a 6, which is a war. I'm not sure what a war cataclysm, what a war natural landmark would be. What would we put there? Like, maybe it's just like signs. Maybe it's just like the leftovers of a war, like ruins of just like old bodies and armor and leftovers. You know. We'll stick this over here. Maybe that's like in the water, sort of Lord of the Rings style. You know. Something like that. Dead Wraith soldiers. Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff. I'm gonna call this we're call this the dead river. The dead wastes. Something like that. And that's, don't go over there. There's just dead folks walking around. Okay, next. One more. We got a 10. 10 gives us the current terrain plus 2 steps, which goes from river or coast to a mountain. So now we're going to head to a mountain. That's fine. Mountain can have a river coming out of it. Yeah, we'll go with like something a little bit darker, like that, I think. Maybe not quite that dark. Let's do something... that one. Bloop. And we'll put in some mountains. I have some cool mountains in here in Inkarnate. There. Then over here. There we go. We'll make that river continue on into here. There we go. Okay, let's keep on going. We could always like branch off, you know, wherever, but we'll keep on going. We already have a starting location. We got 3 already like quest spots. Another 9. A 9 is the current terrain plus 2 steps, which means our mountains. When we do this, we go as kind of a circular thing. So we go up here, and now we go to 1, 2 to the swamp. Now we got a swamp over this way. So we'll throw in, which one looks kind of swampy? That one looks swampy right there. So we'll throw in a swampy one. Bloop. And we'll put in like some trees, some scattered trees, like these guys. Maybe some of these. This will be good and swamp looking. There we go. There's our swamp. I'll put a couple living trees too. Okay. Next. We got current step plus 1, which goes into a grassland. And we have something exciting. Got so many this time. I've had other times where like nothing happened. I'll roll both these together. So we got a small tower guarded by its current residents. All right. Tower people live at. I need some variety in towers here, but this will work. Another tower, which has people living in it. Which is, I guess, maybe like an old tower that has people have taken up residence in. We'll just call it the old tower. Very, very clever naming scheme, I know. Roll again. We have an 8, which means it's the same thing. And a whole lot of nothing, so we're going to go there. And you can see what we're doing here. We're just going to keep on going in circles. And we'll keep on adding things. We won't do the whole way, but we'll see what we can find of this. If we do end up with like a coast or ocean over here, then we'll know we got to make some adjustments. Grassland, and now we're moving +1 with a 3 goes into a forest or a jungle, which was that one. That's actually swamp, wasn't it? So we'll do something like that. And we'll put some trees in here. Yeah, oops. Don't go too high or it yells at you. I want you to buy it. Inkarnate is pretty neat. It's pretty neat. But for the sake of seeing this real quick, we can do all this with the free version. Okay, next up is a 10, which is current terrain +2, which, what was it? That was forest. We're up to ocean now. Okay, so that tells us some things. So that's got to be ocean. So then maybe this isn't a river. Maybe we want to do something like this. That all connects up over there now. So that sorcerer tower is over here. Maybe the sorcerer tower is like, it's like on the over here. Something like that. Let's go one more. We're up to this one. This one is the same, so it's another ocean. It's hard to maybe mark this so I recognize which one I've done before already. So we've done that one. We've done that one. Let's keep on going and see what we get. 4, same as current. Keep on going. So that monster nest is maybe going to be underwater. Maybe they're like mermaids. They are at war. Remember, weren't they like fighting something? So there's mermaids fighting something. 8 is current and something spooky. So we can do another spooky roll. Anyway, spooky. A point of interest, not necessarily spooky. We've got a city or metropolis in the water over a sleeping dragon. Excellent. Perfect. And it's right next to the monster nest. And we know who's fighting the monsters now. So we have a city. Let's do a fortified city. Let's do this kind of like, I think we're gonna do something like a little patch of land. I think is where the city's gonna sit. Out here in the water. Or that could be like a merfolk city, and they're fighting some other underwater things. That works as well. I'm going with that. I'm going with a merfolk. I don't know. Good. Actually, if it's a city, we have names for this. Names are right down here. So let's roll a D8. What's the name of that city? It is Durain. Sure. There we go. Durain. Merfolk City. Sahuagin is who the monsters are. I like it. Let's do, I'll turn these back regular blue here in a minute. Or I guess what I could do is I could do this so I can know what I've done, what I haven't done. What I'll do is I'll mark these. That color. So I know which ones I've done. Okay, we'll do a couple more here. And we have another. I never rolled so many ones. I did in my last map. I had a giant thing with like 3 points of interest. I got a ton of them this time. Okay, same as current terrain. It's going to be water again, and we have another thing, which is going to give us a small tower again, with where a secret circle of wizards meet. Isn't that all kinds of exciting things going around here? Secret circle, wizards, Do we have a good secret circle of wizards? Not really. We'll set this guy up. Or, I'm thinking, here, maybe we do this. Hey, Onishi, how's it going? Let's do something like this. Sure, I think I can flip these. I can rotate. We'll just do something like this. This is our circle of sea wizards. Yeah, it's not the most secret, is it? It's secret. These are the sea wizards. They meet over here. Let's continue fixing this so it is actually a coast now and not a river. The monster nest can be underwater as well. So that's a coast. I guess we could change it into adding like a beach if we wanted to go with a little yellow and you know, something like that to give it a coast. If this is our coast. Like that. Just to fix it up, pretty it up a little bit. There's a tool you can use here, which is that one, which you can add some roughness to it if you want to go with something that's a little more like... Ooh, that's kind of wonky. That's real wonky. Maybe we can, like, change the roughness a little bit. I mean... You get what... There you go. Smaller is better. There you go. If you don't want, like, a bit more jagged coastlines... Not sure I like that, but it's okay. Yeah, I love these things. Obviously, I made a whole game out of these kinds of tables and stuff. I love this stuff. Let's keep going. Okay, so we got a 4, which means same as terrain. We still have the water happening. We're just gonna go over here. We'll keep on expanding this thing because we basically got an ocean over here. And a 5 is another one. That's no ones. Oops. 9 gives us something new. So that we had ocean, right? Is that what we were doing there? And now we're on to a mountain. No, 9 is +2, so it goes for a mountain in a desert or Arctic up this way. Which, yeah, maybe like that can work. We'll fill this in over here. Like that. So that could still be a river, and it flows into the sea. That works out just fine. And it actually we got a big swamp around here. It could be all marshy and stuff. So this, I'm using ShadowDark, which is this book here. It's like 300-something pages. It is a game. This is the craze in like the TTRPG world right now. It won all kinds of... It won like the Game of the Year awards for tabletop games. It just has 2 of the pages are dedicated to making hex maps. There's another one in here. The next page, which I don't know if I can show you. So here's the thing that I'm showing you right now. And the next page is how to make a settlement map, which is pretty neat, because what you do is you take, like say you want to make a town. I don't have this one. I can't pull this one up on PDF. I don't have it easily pulled up. You want to make a town, you take 4d4 and you just sort of throw them, and wherever they land is the district. And so whether it's a slums or like a market district, and you kind of make your map. I've done one on paper. I didn't bring it with me in here. But it's a very neat way of just organically kind of creating a city. What's so great about it? It's kind of like, so ShadowDark is it's like a blend. It's new style D&D, like, you know, roll a d20, high number is good, that kind of thing, like Dungeons and Dragons. But it's in sort of like the old school style. And so, like, it's very deadly, and it's so kind of like old school D&D in a new style, I guess. Is probably the best way of putting it. It won like 4 Ennies. Ennies are like the Tabletop RPG awards. It won like best layout, which I agree. The book is laid out very well. It has all these like campaign creating things, and I don't know what the other ones were. One of them was Game of the Year. Anyway, we got a swamp. And the swamp has something in it. What does it have in it? It has a small tower. There's a lot of towers around here. A small tower home to an oracle. Hey, good thing I got a tower tool. Put that tower over there. This is where the oracle lives. He lives over here in the swamp. Of course he does. What self-respecting oracle doesn't live in a swamp? So this is going to be the frog oracle. Of course. I'm sure his name is Todicus. Let's put some trees in there to make him a little more sheltered. Yeah, so this is all completely random. We're just kind of following around a tool here and rolling it. So I'm on a swamp right now. Rolled a 3, or I'm on a swamp, so I'm following this table now. I'm going to roll the top 2 dice, ignore the bottom one right now. Top 2 is a 3, which means I got a 2 or a 3, which means I'm going to take the current terrain, which is a swamp, plus 1. So we're going down to a grassland. So now, in the bottom dice is if I get a 1 on that D6, I get to add in a point of interest, which is down here. To add in things like that frog oracle or whatever. So now we got a grassland. We'll pop a grassland in right there. Now the question is, are these mountains going to be anything new? Are they going to continue on, or is it just one lonely mountain? 7, it is just one lonely mountain. Continue that around. No 1, nothing too exciting to put in there. We'll keep on rolling. 6, same thing. Grassland. A lot of grassland this time. Next up, we got a 5, which same thing. Put that around. Nice and easy. A 3 gives us plus 1, which puts us into a forest, and there's some exciting things in this forest. It's always exciting when you roll a 1 there. 11 and a 14, we got a city, and a city where a secret circle of wizards. We've had a secret circle of wizards. Let's roll that one again. We know we have a city though, a metropolis. A metropolis protected by an age-old guardian. Right. We've used the metropolis. Let's use we'll use that one. So we'll put this guy over here by this old tower. There's people that live in the old tower, remember? That's got like a suburb, I guess, of this place. We need a name, which we can get. There's a table for that. Down here, this is a city and metropolis. We're going to roll it on that. Which is going to give us 4, which is Mirkos. Go like that. What's that? KHOS. Of course, you can make your own names, but that's fine. Oh, was that supposed to be down here? Did I do that in the wrong spot? I did, didn't I? Mirkos is in the forest down here. Not the grassland down there. Let's clump these up a little bit. This adds in more to the clump. Mirkos, the forested city. Okay, let's roll one more. We got a 9, which adds 2 steps to our forest, which goes into mountains. What did I use for mountains before? This one? Mountain? So Mirkos is here butted up against some mountains. Oh yeah, elves. It's gotta be elves. But there's also mountains nearby. Maybe they're dwarves. Let's roll one more. We'll do this. We'll kind of fill out a bit more of this, and maybe we'll get a completed hex. A 5 is the same thing, so we got more mountains. I think this is where the strength in this is because of the dice curve, you know. You're gonna get more of the same kind of thing, and it'll kind of change off eventually. But you'll get mountain ranges with the way this works, and the way it kind of curves around, you'll get curved. It won't be just like a straight mountain range. It's gonna be kind of a curvy thing. And so even though it's hard on these sort of randomized hex map things, it's really hard to make something that looks natural. This is the best one that I've found that does that. We're just completely going random and getting something that looks reasonable. A 10 plus 2, so we're gonna go from mountain up to another swamp over here. So we've hit more land over here. Let's put in our dead trees. I want size. Clumps of dead trees for our swamp. Roll one more. We'll finish up the side and we'll have a nice hex map here. More swamp. Those in. We'll grab in this guy. We'll pop that in. Okay, we'll do these last 3, and then we'll have a completed hex, or completed starter zone at least. We got another 6, which is another swamp. So our coast is starting to fill in. We'll do 2 more. We have 3, which means we go from swamp to grassland. Like that. And then we'll do the last one. We got a 10. The only one I didn't roll is if you roll a 12, then you start over here and you roll a whole new hex up here. But we got 10, which takes from grassland up to a river or coast. Yeah, that fits perfectly. So we'll kind of fill this one in and do kind of like something like that. Actually, I need to change that, don't I? That, and then we'll fill in the grassland. Oops. Like that. Okay. And then those, and our swamp can kind of go out here. There we go. Make our beach continue on a bit. So Dorain is right here on the edge. That's fine. There you go away. Okay, and that's a completed hex, isn't it? So there we go. There is our there's our map. Let me add in some. Let's do like the dark one, and we'll add. Like we'll get like a road coming out here. We'll stop by Mirkos. Maybe there'll be like a small trail that leads up here to the old tower where people live. Sorcerer doesn't get a road. There's the Oracle. I don't think there's gonna be a road up there, though. Into Dorain. I don't know how to get there. Yeah, so this would basically be a starter. Like if you're starting a new campaign, D&D style or whatever, this would be a good start, or whatever. Start in Osland, you've got several different points. You got the Dead Waste up north if you want to go kill some dead things. You got a monster over there that's at war with these merfolk we already figured out. We got a bunch of wizards. A bunch of, obviously, pirate wizards that meet up there. There's an old town of folks that got kicked out of the elves town over here, living on their own. Probably have some problems. There's an evil sorcerer down this way. And there you go. Now, I love it. It's all so simple. How many words is that? A couple dozen, and it's everything. I think we covered everything. No, we even got a cataclysm in there with the dead wastes. The other thing I didn't put in was the danger level, which normally as you roll this, you put the danger level because in ShadowDark, depending on how deadly, here's the book. Depending on how deadly the hex is, you roll on random encounter tables and all that. But it also works for anything, you know. You show how spooky things are. There's the book. It's a very pretty book. It's got some good artwork. There's that. A lot of the book is random tables. Any that show up? I don't know. People who visit Dorain become strangely affected by madness. They're said to have become deranged. Excellent. On that note, I don't know if there's anything else to say about this. There's the Overland hex map creator random tables in ShadowDark.